So I would like to first recognize Brian and Karina Miles from Pittsburgh, Indiana, who raised Holt the Fourth. I'd now like to recognize Melody Boyd and Scott Boyd from Cherry Valley, Illinois, who raised Voight the Seconds. I'd now like to recognize Yolanda Gonzalez and Jamie Navarrete from Tiffin, Ohio, who raised Forsty. I'd now like to recognize Teresa Hart through the Lions Project from Bowling Green, Kentucky, raising Trevor the Fifth, her 15th puppy, nicknamed T5. I'd now like to recognize Susan Marlott from Murdoch, Nebraska, raising Tank the Fourth, who is named after through Pacific Life. I'd now like to recognize Gordon and Joyce Spainhauer from Columbia, Missouri, who raised Sparkle the Third. I'd now like to recognize Erin Antison and Melina Garcia from Davenport, Iowa, raising Layson the Fourth, part of our St. Ambrose University Club. Thank you. I'd like to recognize Sylvia Payne from Indianapolis, Indiana, who raised Lander and part of our phenomenal Indianapolis group. Yay. I'd now like to recognize Paula Barrett from New Albany, Ohio, who raised Fozzie the Second, and so take note, Fozzie Barrett, Fozzie Bear. I'd like to recognize Carrie Pettit and Heather Hill from Canfield, Ohio, who raised Wooly, who was named donor name was Lisa Dare. Thank you. And I also like to give a shout out to Heather. Her husband Andrew is one of our private pilots that are locally, and he just yesterday flew to Chicago and then out to Pittsburgh. So big hand to Andrew. I'd like to recognize Tina Gargano from Hamilton, New Jersey, by way of the University of Pittsburgh and our club at the University of Pittsburgh, and she raised Arvin. I'd like to recognize Diane Fee from Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota, who raised Shireen, one of our puppy raisers from the far, far north. We love it. I'd now like to introduce Linda and Bill Cleveland. Linda is the totally awesome puppy raiser, and with her trusty sidekick, Bill, who from Grand Rapids, Michigan, I had to do it, sorry, who raised Olina the Second. I'd now like to thank Sarah, Eric, and Allie DeCourcy from Lenexa, Kansas, who raised Marvin the Second. And so we've got Marvin, and then Marvin the kennel person, and then Arvin the golden. It's going to be phenomenal. But we thank our Kansas City team here, so thank you. I'd now like to thank Thomas and Bonnie Witt from Carmel, Indiana, who raised Otter the Fifth, another wonderful indie puppy raiser. I'd like to recognize Donna James Avere and Nori James from Fayette, Missouri, who raised Rossi II. Rossi, always willing to try anything and loves to snuggle and hold hands. From our Central Missouri, our wonderful woodworking puppy raiser. I'd like to recognize Suzanne and Steve Troit, the people who I constantly call to tell people how to get to the O'Hare Airport. If you need any help getting to O'Hare, please reach out to Suzanne. From West Chicago, Illinois, who raised Allegro II. I'd like to recognize Don and Laura Stull from Fremont, Ohio, who raised Phineas II, which is good because Finian is leaving today, so we can bring in the next Finney of some kind to not be confused with Marvin, Arvin, and Arvin. So, thank you. I'd now like to recognize Pat Long Sims from Plainville, Illinois, who raised Tenor II, and along with all of our puppy raisers who are phenomenal crafters, our basket maker. Yay! I'd like to recognize Fran Hawking from Plymouth, Michigan, raising a Vader III, but he is on the good side of the force. So, and she's on the east side of Michigan, so it's all good. So thank you. I'd like to recognize Lisa Rickards from Kansas City, Missouri, who raised Java the Ninth, not to be confused with Lava, but she is pretty free-flowing. I'd like to thank Dennis Villasenor from Olathe, Kansas, who raised Victoria the Sixth. Being presented today is Sandy Rickards, and helping out Lisa coming over here and helping out another puppy raiser. Everyone working together. I'd like to recognize Melissa and Kira O'Cole from Cincinnati, Ohio, who raised Pindle II, along with being also a facility team. So go facilities! I'd like to recognize Pat Buell and Susan Cotrus from Shaker Heights, Ohio, who raised Pebble, and a good example of when puppy raisers work together, great things happen and how we each have our backs. So, yay! Thank you. And I'm going to take a quick minute to say the names of puppy raisers who unfortunately couldn't make it today. But Melissa Paul, our puppy program assistant in Florida, from Orlando, Florida, who raised Carter VI. Julie Savanac from Urbana, Illinois, who raised Jubilee V, and her kids always make phenomenal pictures of all the dogs turning in. It's quite fun. Catherine and Scott Rupp from Twin Lakes, Wisconsin, who raised Oshie. We have Nancy and Wyatt Reinhardt from Waynesville, Illinois, who raised Rocco IV. And Patricia O'Collins from Evanston, Illinois, who raised Oko III. So thank everyone for their hard work and appreciation of everyone. Round of applause. We are going to take a sit back, relax, and enjoy the puppy picture presentation. I'd now like to introduce the instructors for the November 2022 team training class. Tanya Halford, Senior Instructor, Zach Fry, Apprentice Instructor, and Jen Smith, Apprentice Instructor.
Crowd looks a lot bigger from up here. So, we have a lot to be thankful for here. For example, I'm thankful for the people that I get to work with every day and our generous donors. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't have this amazing campus. I'm thankful for the puppy raisers and the dogs I get to train who make getting up at 6 every morning a little bit easier. But most of all, I'm thankful for our students who worked tirelessly these past 2 weeks to lay the foundation for successful partnerships. I'm not going to point any fingers, because each and every student in this team training class impressed us with their tenacity and confidence when learning the difficult handling sequence. Of the 9 teams we have graduating today, only one is a successor, but by the end of team training, they all could have fooled us into believing they were born with a dog attached to them. This isn't to say there weren't struggles. There were bumps in the road as well as some potholes, but I'm thankful that no one gave up and made it to today. Congratulations, you all earned it. So let's start meeting our class. Aubrey, Mark, Jenny. Aubrey came to Ohio from Illinois for her first Canine Companions service dog. She's a very soft-spoken person, but has great expectations for herself and her dog. When not out scuba diving or breaking long jump world records, she's studying at college and will be graduating very early next year with an exercise science major, and will be getting her master's in military history pretty soon after that. Aubrey will be bringing Humphrey to college, not the parties. And with her persistent spirit, there's nothing that she and Humphrey can't do. Jenny and Mark Trainer are appropriately named. They've been volunteer puppy raisers for a little while now and have done so much to help the mission, including training. They are common faces at puppy class right here on campus and always have great ideas for things for everyone to work on, and we're very thankful they're a part of our community. Mark, Jenny, would you please pass Humphrey's leash to Aubrey? Kara, Fran, Peter. Kara made the trip from South Dakota to Ohio for her first Canine Companion service dog. She's been very thoughtful throughout class, asking questions, wanting to work on things, just so she's ready to take Napa home and be successful with her. We couldn't have imagined a better match than her and Napa, and from the get-go, Kara was enthralled by Napa's dainty but hard-working attitude. Kara looks forward to utilizing Napa to help pick up dropped items as she works as a receptionist in a hospital when she goes back home. Fran and Peter have been in the puppy raising business for quite some time. There's no question that they enjoy it. I tried counting how many dogs they've raised for us, and I gave up after 15. 21, all right, I can't count that high. Even when they're out in Illinois, we still feel their efforts here in Ohio, and we're very thankful for their constant support and devotion to Canine Companions. Fran, Peter, would you please hand Napa's leash to Kara? Caroline, Jackie, Blake. Caroline and her family made the long and treacherous journey to Ohio from that faraway land known as Ohio. She came ready to work and immediately fell for Amity and her calm and sweet demeanor. When we took breaks, Caroline loved to show us how old we truly were by doing cartwheels and handstands and back handsprings. Seriously, every time I looked over at her, my back started to hurt. But she still had plenty of energy for cuddles with Amity under the table during class. This entire team has been doing great, and we're excited to follow up with them in the future. Jackie and Blake are both another couple of our local puppy raisers. They're also a common sight on campus, whether it be puppy class or volunteering. We're always happy to see her We're always happy to see them lend a hand. Amity is only the second dog you guys have raised, but you make it look a lot easier than it actually is. We're thankful for both of you and your family's dedication to the mission. Jackie, Blake, would you please pass Amity's leash to Caroline and Julie? Next up, we have Tanya Halford to introduce the next three students.
All right, I'll have Dawson and Michelle and Erica if she wants to come on up. And then Marcia and Roger. Dawson's ready to go. Dawson, his mom Michelle, and sister Erica have traveled from South Dakota to get their service dog. Dawson has been fun to watch as he gets to know his dog. Even from the first day, we discovered that Dawson enjoyed dog kisses. Riesling must have known this, as she was one of the first of many that Dawson worked with, willing to fulfill his desire of a kiss to the face. He then appeared to test out the other dog's willingness to give him kisses as well, as they were working beside him. Riesling and her willingness to work in the face of distraction makes a great match. She can retrieve even when getting love, and on release is willing to give kisses and hang out with the team. An entertaining moment in class was when Dawson saw food on the floor. He reached over and covered Riesling's eyes, as if to assist her in not being tempted by the distraction. We look forward to stories of this team's success as she is further incorporated into Dawson's routine. Marcia and Roger Tucker live locally in Columbus, Ohio, and they are no stranger to puppy raising. Number 7, right? Currently raising number 7. Thanks for doing all that you do. Marcia and Roger from Columbus will now present Riesling II to Dawson. If I could get Joe and Marty to come up. It's a long morning. Joseph and his parents, Chelsea and Tom, traveled from Indiana, and they have been a pleasure to have in class. Joe's a smart young man that seems to catch on to dog handling easily. He has been caught coaching his parents, Chelsea and Tom, on a variety of occasions. And over the last 2 weeks, this team has shown great ability to get Ivy to do all of those working commands. He looks forward to having her at his side through the high and low points in life, with hopes of assistance with cleaning up his room, and being a constant that can provide a much desired lap or visit when needed. It sounds like Ivy will be kept busy. I'm sure there will be much rest time as well, as Joy enjoys being a voice actor and loves playing video games. Yeah? Are you up for hire, Joe?
Maybe.
Marty's been raising since 1989, so I didn't even guess how many puppies she's raised. And they've come and gone throughout her life. I wish I could come up with a specific story to share, but all I can say is that she's been a constant my entire time here, and that's been a treasure. Not only puppy raising, but helping out with just about anything we ask her. She's gone on car rides and puppy pickups and all kinds of things. Marty's from Columbus, Ohio, and will be handing Ivy the 6th to Joe. All right, Lauren, and Sherry, and Larry, and Kazoo, or Kazoo. He goes by both. He's Kazoo from Kalamazoo, also known as Kazoo.
From Kalamazoo.
Lauren traveled from Pennsylvania to receive her service dog, and I'm hoping I got your title right because I went to LinkedIn. As the Vice President of Environmental Affairs and Sustainability and Assistant of your company, the company. Yeah, close, pretty close. She works and has a lot of responsibilities and must tackle a lot of different challenges in her day-to-day life. She's now learning how to incorporate Kazoo into her routine life, including how to get a big boy to fit within the foot space of a small plane. We've enjoyed Lauren's willingness to work with us when building this new relationship. He will help with opening doors and picking up dropped items. Her fun fact was that we couldn't, looking at my stuff. Her fun fact was that she was on Modern Family, but we weren't able to explore what part of Modern Family she was in. But I imagine that means that he will be on a lot of adventures if you've managed to get that far out and do those types of things. So this may also make me want to rewatch Modern Family to see if I can find her in there. Sherry and Larry have been raising for many years as well. I remember them as one of the first puppy raisers that I got to meet when coming to North Central back in 2001. With many puppies to come and many in the past, I bet they've taught them a lot of lessons as well as gotten them out on a lot of adventures. They've raised children and grandchildren while keeping these puppies on track for possible placement as working dogs. Sherry from Richland, Michigan, and sometimes Florida, will now present Kazoo to Lauren. And I will have Jen, not last but definitely not least, come up and introduce the rest of the class.
All right. If we could have Matt and Haley, if you want to come up as well. All right. Matt traveled down to us from Michigan to attend team training with his mom, Paula. He was thrilled to have the opportunity to be matched with his first service dog. Throughout class, Matt showed up with a smile on his face and a laugh to share with his fellow students. He's a social person and loved hanging out with his new friends. He's used to being around lots of people because he has 7 siblings. Matt has been matched with service dog Ike, the 7th. I need to type it out when I write it. Sorry about that. Matt hopes to bring his new partner to therapy and utilize the many skills these dogs come with to advance through those sessions, like nudging his leg to encourage him to walk. Completing daily tasks like putting away laundry will be much more enjoyable with his new furry friend beside him. Paula has done a great job of facilitating the bond between Matt and his new service dog, Ike. Ike was raised by Haley LeBlanc from Minnesota. Ike was Haley's first puppy she raised on her own, though she's helped her mother raise several dogs prior, and she is currently working with her second puppy. Haley got to show off her puppy raising knowledge with Ike and truly put the work in with him. We appreciate the skills, time, and effort she consistently gives Canine Companions. You may now hand over Ike's leash to Matt. All right. Sunny, if you'd like to come up, and Beth. Sunny returned to Canine Companions for her second service dog from Minnesota with her mom and dad, Wendy and Tom. She listened carefully to our instructions throughout class and could often be heard critiquing her parents' handling skills, and she was usually right. With her help, Sunny's parents and facilitators, Wendy and Tom, have improved exponentially since just 2 weeks ago. Good job, Sunny. Sunny has been matched with successor service dog Hermes III. She wants her new partner to help her with tugging off jackets and retrieving dropped items. Hermes will be there to help Sunny navigate back into the world of service dogs and learn to love her new dog as much as her previous one, just maybe in different ways. Hermes was raised by Beth Schroeder from Michigan. Beth is a longtime puppy raiser and supporter of Canine Companions' mission. We are lucky to have her experience and heart in our volunteer ranks. Her effort and love shaped Hermes into the dog he is today. Thank you for the many years of dedication you've given Canine Companions. You may now hand over Hermes' leash to Sunny.
Well, I mean.
All right, Susan, if you'd like to make your way down here, and Pam. All right. Susan visited us from Michigan with friends Sally and Toe for her first dog from Canine Companions, but her third service dog overall. She has an affinity for knitting and loves spending time at her Summer Lake house with her husband, and now her new furry partner too. Susan showcased her previous dog handling skills with how quickly she and her new service dog took to one another. Susan was matched with service dog Finian III. Her new dog charmed Susan with his alien-like bug-eyed expression and expressive tail wagging.
I didn't say that. She did.
It's from a place of love. She will have Finian retrieve her home phone and find her husband in another room when she needs assistance. He will also be helping open doors for Susan. We are excited to see where Susan and Finian's partnership takes them. Finian was raised by Pam and Michael Wright from Missouri. They have raised several puppies before Finian and currently raising another. We so appreciate their dedication to Canine Companions and their willingness to continue to love each dog they turn in. Their effort and affection for Finian clearly paid off. You may now hand over Finian's leash to Susan. All right. Congratulations to all of the students. You should be very proud of yourselves. So, round of applause for everyone. And now we're going to watch a video of the past 2 weeks that these awesome students have been experiencing. So sit back and enjoy that.
congratulations to our November 2022 team training class. We're excited to see the journey that you guys have in the future ahead, and we are excited to see the future for all the 29 dogs that just turned into professional training. In February of 2020 was the last time we were all together. And today, almost 3 years later, we are finally graduating and matriculating dogs all at the same time. We have come a long way from an old facility to this new facility. You guys have been through us through thick and thin with all the new technologies, and so as we remember the old normal, incorporating it into the new normal, we can't wait to see what happens in the future. So thank you everyone for being with us, being here today, and just being a huge support for Canine Companions. Thank you. What is going to happen next? Our graduates, you are free to go. Yay! For the puppy raisers and matriculating dogs, it is time to say our goodbyes. So what's going to happen is you guys have until 3:20. By 3:20, we would love to have you in the kennel building. If you guys are ready now to turn in, just head on over to the kennels, and we will start the turn-in process from there. If you guys want to hang out here, go outside, take some pictures. But if you could be in the kennel by 3:20, we would be greatly appreciative. Everyone, have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you again for joining us today.